So fast forward, it's Super Bowl Sunday. You wake up, you're playing in the Super Bowl.
Just another day.
Just another day. No special feeling. Well, firstly, how do you sleep the night before?
I trained myself to always sleep well night before a game because I knew if you want to play well, you're gonna have to sleep well.
Yep.
But when you wake up game day, you are strung tight.
Any game day or
any game
Super
day,
Bowl?
any game, every game.
Okay.
So I remember I got to speak to the team that morning, and I said, here's what's pretty cool. So we've got a job. And at the end of today, because of our job, we know without a doubt, our life is going to be different. We're either going to be Super Bowl champions or we're going to be Super Bowl losers. And it's going to stay with you. It's going to be one of those things for the rest of your life. I said, how cool is that? How cool is that we have a job where today is not just a day. It's not just another day. Like, this is big. So I was grateful for the opportunity. And then the game, I barely remember any of the game because I wasn't thinking about it in the context of Super Bowl, 100 million people watching. I had made it so I tried to make the game as small as I possibly could in my mind. So I was just saying, well, I'm just going to go out there and try to execute the fundamentals that I'd spent every day the last 15 years trying to perfect. That's the snap, the steps, the hand, all that stuff. That's all I was doing. I wasn't playing in the Super Bowl in my mind. I was relying on my fundamentals, right? Versus like, well, I'm just going to go out here and make it happen. Talent, me. That's not what it was.
Is there any moment in the game that you remember specifically?
I remember when the lights went out.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen every game or
Not every game.
every Super Bowl. Now, I remember when the lights went out, now talking to people who were there, they thought, well, maybe it was like a terrorist attack or something. They're like, what were you thinking? I was so locked in because, you want to get locked in and you'd never want to, again, pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You never want to kind of let your guard down and then something happened because you weren't ready for it. Like, you were too relaxed. It's like you're a fighter, right? You don't want to just drop your hands for a second. You get punched in the face. So I remember when the lights went out, it was just like, I wasn't thinking about terrorists or it's just like, well, how long till they get the lights back on? When can we play again? Like, I wasn't going to break character for 1 second, but I do remember that moment because that was a little odd.
Yeah. So, I mean, a single play can shift the momentum of a game.
Yeah.
The lights going out, was there concern, hey, we're in the zone and we don't want to slip out of the zone and, what is going on? And
I can't explain it. We were it's 28-6, I think. Like, they couldn't stop us. I was thinking, we're going to blow these guys out. We're going to be partying on the sidelines in the fourth quarter. Like, so it's not, they were good. It's like, it's not supposed to be this easy. And the lights went out and there was no concern. It was like, well, when the lights come back on, we're just going to keep smashing them.
Wow.
But the lights came back on. It was a totally different story. It's kind of one of these, like, this doesn't make any sense. What's going on? And so towards the end of the game, they got to score a touchdown. They drive all the way down the field and they've got 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. They got to score a touchdown. They score a touchdown, they win. And 1st and goal, they don't get it. 2nd and goal, they don't get it. 3rd and goal, they don't get it. Now it's 4th down. This is the ball game. This one play is going to determine the outcome of the game. Every play leading up to that had an effect, but this is the play. It's like, and I remember thinking to myself, and there was a lot of guys praying at that moment. I remember thinking to myself, this is so messed up. I played for 15 years trying to get to this point, and this play right here is going to determine the outcome of the game. And I can't do anything about it. I got to rely on these 11 teammates. Now, there's part of me saying, I'm kind of glad I'm not out there. This is a big spot.
Right.
This is a big spot. But, and that's where it was like, one of me was like, part of me was saying, man, like I'm small, you know, I got nothing to do with this. The other part of me was saying nothing else I kind of knew it was going to be my last game. Nothing else in my career is going to be different. Like everything is exact. But is this one play going to determine whether I'm a success or I'm a failure?
Mm.
And I was like, obviously not. Obviously not. I'm not defined by this one play. Now, okay, you're a Super Bowl champion or not, that's how other people see you. But everything else, I was like, I've got to feel the same way about my career regardless. You know, kind of had to have that, I kind of had to decide that at that moment for myself because, and fortunately, you know, they didn't make it and we won, and that was a great moment. But it was like a coin flip. You know, they very easily could have scored and we could have lost.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, maybe people would think a little less of me. Maybe they wouldn't laugh as loud at my jokes. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, is that like, that's the world, you know, that's the world. So it's kind of there's a lot going on there in that 30 seconds on the sidelines. Your mind can work pretty fast when you're in an intense situation like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as a man of faith, playing in the Super Bowl, do you pray you win? Do you pray you play the best game of your life throughout your career? Or have you sort of given yourself rules about how you would and would not involve God in football? Or what's that dynamic?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I mean, I guess I never out loud said, prayed, God, please help us win. But I probably thought it a little bit. Like, if I was to be honest, like in my heart, that's what I wanted. Yeah, I remember the day I went to Mass, and you know, the gospel was faith, hope, and love. And it was like, yeah, that's what's important. Yeah, it just kind of set the stage, and I just prayed that, you know, God would allow me just to play to the best of my ability, you know, be a good teammate, just do the best I can. And, you know, I mean, I guess I'd like to say that I was always at peace with that, you know, but it's hard. I mean, we're all prideful. You know, I'd say that. And of course, I always felt like I always gave max effort, but sometimes my performance wasn't as good as wasn't up to my standards or coach's standards. And that really bugged me, you know, that would eat at me. I wouldn't sleep after games. So it's probably not a great answer, but no, you're not praying to win. I was not praying to win, but I was hoping.
Is it harder to be a graceful winner or a graceful loser?
I'd say it's harder to be a graceful loser because of this, because being a graceful winner, not hard. It wasn't hard for me. Maybe it's just a point in my life or whatever. We won the Super Bowl, and it was sort of one of those moments where it was like, this is it. I don't know. Like I kind of expected it wasn't a letdown, but it was like, I think it's kind of that moment where you reach the top of the mountain and you realize it was never about this. It was about what it took to get here. I mean, I'm really glad that I have great memories and feel so thankful that my parents and brothers and friends and everybody came to, and we were on the field, you know, confetti falling, and afterwards we're out in the city and we're having fun. And it's just those, you don't get those memories. You don't get to do that every day, right? But it was kind of one of those, yeah, this is cool, but I guess it really wasn't about this. I remember just thinking back to all the heartbreaking losses and the struggle, and you fight through the injuries and all those things. And man, that's what it was about. It's about that journey. It's about journeying with these guys and guys that you really become like family with. That's why it was awesome. The trophy. I mean, who won the Super Bowl 3 years ago?
No idea.
Nobody does, right? Nobody cares.
I'm sure somebody cares.
Well, if you're a fan of that team, you probably care, but nobody else cares.